everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing one of our favorite decks right before it kind of gets rotated, with a lot of the removal kind of falling out, but hopefully that removal gets replaced, which oftentimes it does with different type of removal. But with all that said and done, we are going to be playing the Unstoppable Slasher Bloodletter Unholy Annex combo kind of here today. Basically, if we have a Slasher in play with an Aclazotz, if our Slasher makes contact, our opponent loses half their life, which allows us to instantly win the game, because no matter what their life total is, even at infinite, Slasher will take half of that, and then Bloodletter will do the other half, and we will be able to close out the game very quickly, and our best value card being Unholy Annex. Other than that, we're playing a plethora of removal spells and other ways to interact with our opponent to get to the end game, and with all that said and done, let's go ahead and dive in and play. On a Malta 5, Duress is either the best card or like a 1-mana get information card, which isn't the worst, right? Does tell us if our Deep Cavern Bat will live or not. We'll see. So, to be fair, we do get one. Double white here means the Might Caller is not coming down anytime soon. I can always know where to run this. I kind of want to manipulate their hand. Yeah, let's look at their hand. Alright, cool. That's all it took. Easied up, I guess. Opponent first. Got some rotating removal spells, but that's okay. Typically, anytime you have spells that are rotating, like Cut Down or Shieldred's Edict, they typically find a replacement somewhere. Golgari, it seems, which is interesting. No green. They might have found it here on the cycle of this, plus on land draw. No. Okay. We will go ahead and make them sacrifice a non-token creature. And then we get to go right in the Slasher, right in the Bloodletter. Potentially a staggered land situation from our opponent, of course. And just a concession. What is happening? A Malta 5, nothing to it. No mulligan, but a 2-lander on Golgari and nothing to it, I guess. All right. 5th game in a row on the draw. Well, I'm keeping track of it. Clearly. I'm clearly okay. Man, I guess I have to take one of those. Nice. Uh-huh. Sure. Finding a cut down is pretty nice. No way we're letting that attack. If that's a Kaido, obviously we are in big trouble. Sure. I'm gonna go for Lily this turn. That can help us maybe affect their hand a ton.
Sacrifices must be made.
Then maybe if I can get this Unholy Annex down, we're good. Plus. Okay. It randomly just disappeared. There's a Bloodletter, I guess, and their turns auto-passed. They're back. Like, why did you time out? If you're instantly back at the time. What is going on? What are we doing? If they want to attack with the Restless Reef, I'll let them. Plus, last time I plussed, they just left the game. Like, Unholy Annex. No, I'm good. Sure. This is perfectly fine with me. Is this player? Sure. Again, it has to be a player based on what I just read. So this will draw nothing. Which essentially is like the same thing our Liliana is trying to do. Deep Cavern Bat. They've discarded 2 cut downs. Okay. So they're just trying to bait me out of the game. Like, why? Why? I don't really care about their card draw here. We got to figure something out because they are 100% dead next turn. Deep Cavern Battle obviously will block here. Sure. They'll gain a little bit of life. 4. They'll draw 2 cards here instead of drawing 4 because we obviously had to block. Land. Siren. Sure. A pass here. We just need to make another demon, and I want to make it entirely uncounterable. And our opponent just picks them up after first of all, by the way, they had 2 timeouts somehow. I never got a second timeout, and I'm not entirely sure how. They timed out. They came back instantly after timing out. And then they almost time out again. Arena gave them another timeout for some reason after they fully timed out. And then, whatever, dude. I'm moving on. I wish I was joking, but this is the 6th game in a row that I am on the draw. So I'll take it. Sure. The games that I basically have lost, there was one game I won that I cut because it was just more of the same of literally me looking at my opponent doing nothing and then just winning. But the other ones were a lot more like this, where it was like a control matchup and I just had my hand full of removal. Temporary lockdown I do not care about. If they lock this down, then great, right? I just stall this. I stall this for a turn. Sure. That is fine with me. That also issues that our Liliana resolves. This is either blue-white control or it's omniscience. And if it's omniscience, there's not really a whole lot we can do. Establishing Lily that I've learned in the past is actually great. There goes an island. They're most likely going to stock up here, try to get as much value as they can. I think the land play, if their plans to stock up, is actually weirdly bad. Just because I think if you find a surveil land in this stock up pile, you would prefer to play it over the untapped source. But obviously could be wrong with that kind of line of thinking. Now we just plus discard the Archfiend of the Dross because it's not going to do us any good here. And I think the answer is potentially the Deep Cavern Bat. No, it's a J. Then I'm playing Bloodletter. Playing this Wing Con. One of the other cards, I talked about Sunfall being the card I'm so happy to see gone. I actually despise this card. I hate this card. The amount of games I've lost to Jace just like in a completely winning position playing a deck like this where I've like worked my way through the game and then our opponent just like with 1 card in hand top decks a card and then plays 2 Jaces in a row and mills me for 30. And I lose. It always just feels like the worst, you know? Gilded Edict is good for a Planeswalker situation, so Nowhere to Run going to be the card we get rid of. We plus here. Get rid of the Nowhere to Run.
Drop it.
To some extent, we have to be afraid of a board wipe. Their second Jace. So we're going to play Deep Cavern Bat here. Get Lost is an option, but we're going to take it away. Now they can go for this. We can Edict it, and then our Liliana's reset. We're most likely plussing the Lily anyway. If they reset Lily here. The problem is if they play this, it's not necessarily a problem, but like the Deep Cavern Bat gets to come back down. And if I rip a land, everything's going green for us, weirdly enough. But they have to do Lily, or they lose half of everything. And if they don't do Lily, I'm just down ticking it. I'm not actually going to ult it, even though that might even be the best option. Actually, it would be the best option, wouldn't it? Because then I can kind of... Okay, that makes sense. Do I want to play Lily and minus and hold the Edict? Probably not. I would rather plus and take that 3 steps ahead away. Give me my Lily back. A second Bloodletter is okay. Rather have Lily cooking again.
And you think you won't be able
An Unholy Annex is the card we need more than anything because it's passive damage that they can't interact well with. A land from them will go here, and then I'm actually not plussing Lily. And unfortunately, the way the turns have played out, stock up to find something. We do get to draw and do everything we want first. Like we can play, we draw then plus Lily first. They could find something like Get Lost or removing our Deep Cavern Bat and then Get Losting the Slasher. Maybe like double removal, or maybe they get rid of our Bloodletter. They find 2. Stock up number 2 or 3. Ultima, fantastic draw. Perfect draw. But they lose to Get Lost, obviously. Turn ended. We'll say for blue-white control, the big problem is once temporary lockdown's gone, the card that replaces is an artifact, which means Ultima will find like kind of a troublesome situation. Yeah, it doesn't really do you any good here to make the token now, which is fine. If I plus Lily, she survives. I could just minus Lily, but then she doesn't survive. I should have just played the land. I don't know why I didn't. Whatever. We hit. Dropped in 13. I feel like this problem here right now that we're running into is exactly what I said. They've hit the 3rd stock up and actually have been able to cast all of them. I unfortunately did not find my Unholy Annex in time, and I think this game is just now over. Also stock up at... Okay, we just rip another land. This game is officially over. I will move on. If you don't know why, they're just going to sack this, draw a card, make an extra dude on the upkeep. This is going to plus, maybe take away this card. It could be nothing, could be something. Could be a regent that they cycle at the turn, but just ripping a couple lands in a row and doing literally nothing against a deck that's going to be our hardest matchup is what it is. Game number 7, now in a row on the draw, so that is getting annoying, I will say. But it is literally true. That's the only thing, is like, it's the truest thing. All right, we need to take the protection spell, right? Ossification doesn't really matter to me, but we take the protection, even though I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because nowhere to run. But if they hold protection this turn cycle through, we can nowhere to run it out of the way. But the problem is, if it were to grow too large, then nowhere to run can't do anything, and then I have to anoint it, right? So, kind of good if we do, good if we don't kind of thing. Nowhere to run going to be good enough to remove this, and then our anoint will be good enough in the future before they can grow it. Because the thing is, if they flash in an enchantment on it now, like on their turn, right, the problem will be the fact, it's not the fact that we wouldn't be able to deal with like the hexproof or the ward or anything. It's actually more or less to deal with the toughness that it would get, because it would put extra counters on itself. So Shelter by Ghost, annoying, but again, not the biggest deal in the world, because the Shelter by Ghost doesn't really take anything that important. This also doesn't really matter that much. I think it's just ossification for now, because I can obviously go on a basic, and I'm looking to play an Unstoppable Slasher next turn. They must find a threat. Anoint with Affliction should be enough to answer anything, and like I said here, what will they take? This matters a lot. If they take the Deep Cavern Bat, it's a mistake. They take the Nowhere to Run, which is the correct choice, because now this has Ward 4 on it. So I guess I just go for Slasher here. Slasher making it pretty hard for that creature to attack. I believe it's Ward 4, right? Yeah. Oh, block all day. Yeah. All right. You know how this works. All right. So what? That might have been I don't know what that was, to be honest. Maybe they knew they had to answer this. Maybe they felt like they had to answer it, but seems weird play to me. Letter gone, sure. Will be one of the games if my opponent crawls out of it. I will be a little less than happy, that's for sure. But here we go. One more little damage in. A lot of damage coming in here. We drop them to what, like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But yeah, I mean, a weird play there, but yeah, if I could maybe get a game on the play, that'd be pretty cool. I would enjoy that a lot, I think. All right. I have to say it. Game 8 on the draw. I actually have to check. I am almost 100% positive every single game has been on a draw. Against Rakdos something. All right, play land pass. I know this is a bit like, Rick, why are we doing this? It doesn't really matter, but it's just funny. Oh yeah, every single game's been on the draw. This is sick. And I'm against dinos. Even better, dude. I don't even care. This is absurd. The only option. The literal only option. Oh boy, Unholy Annex. My removal sucks, dude. Play land, zombify me, bro. Come on, you got it. Play land, rip the card. Oh, that's not gonna do it. So they didn't hit it. Thankfully, Gishath's actually okay. And Tali's a lot better. I'm going to play an Unstoppable Slasher, and we're just gonna hope here. A little bit of hopium. I feel like I have to strike fiercely here. Nothing. All right, cool. Against this type of deck, like if they bring back a Tali, there is zero chance we're winning. So I feel like if we don't go for the win, we automatically lose, right? So we went for it. Fortunately enough, we got it. They didn't hit one of the 8 or extra 7 there, and they had a lot of looks to do so. So we take a win. 8th game on the draw, and cool. I don't know, Brick. Why is Arena tilting sometimes? I don't know. We had them all that hand. It really did nothing. It looks like we're against goblins here, which isn't the best because this card answers Deep Cavern Bat so well, and using a removal spell in this just sucks. Does not feel great. Speed up. Speed going to 2. 2 Firebrands. Okay. We're just holding removal here. Kind of have to. There's a heavy. You get to respawn before we get to combat here. Mercenary. So shoot the sheriff can actually not answer that. Right. 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 Sure. The pause is these, please. Sir. I would like to know where to run. Please, sir. Let me go. All right. Well. This sucks, but I'm not playing this just to have it get removed right now. I'm going to try to... Okay. The thing is, I don't think they could beat 5/5 demons. I just need to not die before then, which is not easy to say. Is Krenko able to dodge this? Warrior, sure. Isn't great. We do need a demon. It'd be great. Ah, well, we missed. Okay. Let's Deep Cavern Bat here. Hoping for the best. Oh, don't you dare. You always have an answer, dude. This needs to miss. How many Firebrands you gonna have? Crit goes to top card. No. Okay, that's actually not bad. Archfiend's a really good card because it costs a lot of problems for him. But the thing is they can activate the... What else do we draw, bro? Okay. Interesting. So they can make all the goblins have this ability. Wait, they can actually do this. I mean, oh, what a great draw, dude. I don't know. I can't beat everything. We're so dead next turn. It literally doesn't matter anymore. Take 4 here. Play an Archfiend. Does Archfiend gain life? No. We're a turn late. Unlucky. Is what it is. That wasn't really helping us all too much anyway. But they lose life to sack. They only have to sacrifice 5. So basically what they get to do here is they get to play Kranko. Now they definitely get to do it. They'll sack one of the Firebrands. How will they do it? There's a way they can do it. Give that haste? Sure. I have an out here? No. 2, 4, 5. They have to do their Cauldron. Missed the Cauldron activation. Missed the Cauldron activation. Team, is there a chance? If I were to swing 6, no. If I were to play Unholy Annex and cut down to 2/2, we have chances. But the 2/2 can possibly figure it out from there, right? They can activate there and save it. Sucks. I honestly just need to make enough life that they can't do the sack plan, right? That's really all I have to do. I'm going to go back up to 5 here. They're going to lose 4 more. What would happen for 5 for 10? Do I win if they do that? Alright. I could have also drawn any removal spell. That would have been sweet. Okay. Sometimes it just doesn't matter, team. Sometimes it just does not matter. Like, it just does not matter, bro. Oh my god, I'm allowed to be on the play? Alright, it only took 8, not 10 games to get one on the play. Crazy. Everything's running perfectly fine. Land, go. This is where I missed the 3rd land drop and I never get to play the Unholy Annex. I'm gonna wish I was on the draw. Raise to pass combo, it seems. At least I'm guessing. I don't know if that's the case, but... Oh. Stories are coming true. Sure. Steelers Hawk. Everybody's favorite bird. Who would have thought? They're like, we'll give you the play finally. You just are going to lose the game for other reasons. And so I'm like, all right, cool. My opponent's also missing land. Okay. Sure. If they didn't miss a land and they started flooding the board with a lot of creatures, we just lost. But thankfully they didn't. So we get there. I'm honestly more tilted that like I had to play 8 or 9 games on the draw before I'm allowed to actually like play the game. Maybe I should just stop being a whiny player. That would also be cool, huh? Now this is weird because I feel like I'm losing Lily regardless, but I don't really want to get rid of any of my cards. What's the worst case scenario? They playing Unholy Annex. And then am I willing to let go of Bloodletter here? I think the answer is probably yes, because I want to hit one of their cards. They missed a land drop, so we know these cards are just good. And Slasher is going to be the better creature against the, like, creature deck. The rest, probably a dead card. Against the so far all creature deck. There's the Shelter. I knew it was coming. Oh, man, that sucks. To be fair, they can't really beat a Slasher with what that... Oh, great draw. Do I go for the land or do I play the slasher? I kind of want to play the slasher. Just kind of make sure they can't hit me anymore. To be fair, if I do get this back, this does nothing. It literally does nothing at all. Oh, that actually meets the requirement. Very cool. Attack, I guess. Take half your life. Kind of want them to tap out. Sure. I don't know if they have it or not. Well, that seemed to just fall right through the cracks, so sure. Their life gained, both doors locked. Honey, I'm home. Bring this up. Back again. Drop them to 4, I think. Yeah. Not a lot of life to be gained, and now I have a 6/6, so even a Shelter by Ghost does nothing. Wow. A game on the play. Everything's running well. Did I enjoy that match on the play? Yes, I sure did. Very cool. I'm done. That's all I needed. All right, so here we are with the deck after, you know, having a really fun time on the ladder, playing matchups that are hard and also being on the draw every game. But that is okay. I understand. I was more or less doing it for a bit. It happens. No matter what you do, there's going to be a stretch of games where you're going to hit the draw a ton. But that also goes with the times that you're going to be on the play all the time. The thing is when you're on the draw every game, you're going to recognize that a bit more because there's a lot more negative impact on you, for example. But if you're on the play, there's probably been stretches of games where I've been on the play 9 times in a row, like I was today on the draw. But it's just like way less likely for me to recognize, or it's been split up between 2 sessions, right? Where it's been like, oh, I was on the play 4 times in a row, and then randomly in the next video I was on the play 5 times in a row. But it just happens. It comes and goes. Everything's going to happen eventually. But that's how, you know, statistics are in the law of numbers. Like, it is possible I technically run 20 games on the draw. As unlikely as that is on a 50-50 coin flip every single time, it can happen. That's just how the law of numbers works. You know, you can infinitely hit heads a million times. Like, you can infinitely hit heads in a row and then infinitely respond by hitting tails in a row. It's just, it'll all come 50-50 eventually. So with that said, it was kind of tilting though with all that said. But main thing to note is these cards over here are rotating. I fully understand that, but to some extent we kind of have to play some of these cards because we don't really have the spots for it. But it is to kind of show that this deck will need some help post the kind of rotation coming around. Because obviously we lose our really good early removal. This card's kind of whatever. You can't just more or less replace it with maybe a couple more copies of Nowhere to Run. Gildred's Edict will be a card that kind of hurts a lot more. Maybe a little bit less if blue-black kind of Kaito isn't a thing anymore. Because obviously they're going to run into the same issues we are, where a lot of their removal kind of falls away. And then honestly, Archfiend Dross isn't really a loss in my mind. I know it's good, but in terms of like what this kind of stable synergy revolves around, it's these 3 cards. This card is kind of just like the extra copies which we get based on the land and things like that, and who knows, maybe we'll find a demon in Edge of Eternities to replace it. Other demons exist like the Demon Wall and whatnot, so this card will fully be replaced. Not that big of a deal. Liliana is a bigger deal to me because I've loved to play with Liliana. It's pretty much unplayable in every other format outside of standard, and even in standard she's kind of hard to play. But when she's good, she's good. When she's great, she's awesome. When she's bad, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it, especially with a lot of the graveyard decks. That's why we're just on one of here, because Oculus is a thing, the Omniscience deck is still kind of a thing, the Roots deck's a thing, the Reanimating Dino deck's a thing. So she's a little bit tough right now in comparison to what she could be. So honestly, losing her is not going to be that bad if the decks kind of remain the same. Not exactly the same, but like the same type of decks remain afterwards. So with all that said and done, I hope you all enjoyed the video anyway. I hope you all enjoyed being on the draw with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.